Alright, my fellow Bavarians, I think I'm in, even though the screen has gone black on me. Hope you can see me. Let me put this out here. Alright. Okay, it says that I'm on. We'll see it live. Welcome to Watch and Win, Learn and Earn. All my fellow Bavarians that have gathered in. It's good to have you here. There's a lot of material that I need to cover today, so that's why it's hard to get started here, to get everything situated. So, but I'm here. We're getting going. Today is the 17th letter. 17th in letter is the word tab is the numerical value of 17. So that's a good thing. The word good, tab, in Hebrew, numerical value of 17. Today we are on the 17th letter. And this is quite a letter because it has to do with the mouth. PEV is the mouth. It's the mouth of Hebrew, and it covers a lot of things. Almost every word face in Hebrew is panim, face. It's a lot of the word face, and it has to do with the mouth, because the importance of the face is what you have to say with the mouth, because that's where the word comes from. Good to see you. Come on in. Gather in now. Come on in. Good to have you here. Welcome to Watch and Win, alright? Let me see if I can get my screen over here and get a commercial going to begin with. Let me get one here. I think kind of slow me right now. Alright, here we go. Alright, I can see myself here. Alright, perfect. Now let me see. With commercial. Alright, scripture of the day, I got that. Story morning. Wanted to see, this is something I shared yesterday, something by way we can understand what we're working on here, like something to focus our eyes upon, to remember as a reminder. I'm going to put it almost every time, so we can keep that in mind. And that is that, we were made for the word, which means the dabar in us, to be upheld and kept in the father mode, okay, and not for the downfall or the casting out of that father mode. All right, so for the dabar, at any time you're either exalting and preserving or purifying the father mode, or you are eliminating it and polluting it, or putrefying or corrupting it, like a corrupt file inside of you. And so for father mode, I mean fully activated, teaching humanity enduring riches. And by enduring riches, I refer to words, because once you receive the words of meaning and definitions, you don't lose them. That's the treasure that you never get to lose. Meanings and definitions, while you have it, you share them and you have it in you, you can give it to 1 million people and you still have it in yourself. It never lost. And 1 million people have received it. So, and you're also, once you know the full knowledge and understanding and meaning and definition of something, you're fully able to help everyone rapidly with that products and service that you have mastered. All right, so that's the whole idea. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So that's the whole purpose that we're learning this. And I'm giving you the Aleph Bet, which means father in Hebrew. I'm giving you the Aleph Bet so we will get into this mindset. That was our inheritance. If you go through this life and you're told that you're going to get the Aleph Bet and you never get the mindset of your maker, they have cheated you out. the purpose of your existence. You need to go get reparations from these people that lied to you and have you give you the Aleph Beth originally for you. So I'm giving you from the very start, the Aleph Beth that God meant for you to have, so you will not come back later on demanding reparations from me. You can go demand reparations from everybody else that lied to you and say they were going to give you the Aleph Beth and they never delivered. But I'm giving you the one that is actually for you. All right? Be in the mindset of the maker from the very start. You cannot be, taken down. Let me see here. All right, so let's keep that in mind. Now, let me see what else I wanted to share with you here. Okay, I think I have a song for today that we can sing here. Let me see if I have it here. All right. Dun-dun-dun. All right, let me see here. So, okay, we're going to the main ticker. I think that's what it's called, main ticker. Okay, here we go. All right, so now you see me here. Now, this song, this is from what is Psalm 119, verse 126 is the verse that we read yesterday in Iron. And today we're in PEV. And we're going to finish PEV with this Psalm 119, 136. So today we're going to finish with these two verses. We're going to start with verse 129 for PEV. And we're going to end up with verse 136, which is the one at the bottom here. But I'm going to take these two verses, the one from yesterday, one verse from yesterday and one verse for today. And that's a song that I wrote a long time ago based upon those verses, okay? So I'm going to sing it to you a couple of times so you get familiar with it. Because I'm trying to teach you the word in song, in preaching, in poetry, in every way possible. So you get to enjoy the word in all the different aspects that can come out of me, okay? So it says, it is time for thee, O Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law. Then Psalm 119, 136, mine eye just cry a river of tears because they have not kept thy law. And that's about being sensitive to the word and understand that to neglect the word for which you were created and the word that reveals the mindset of your maker, that's a great loss indeed. Okay, you can miss a lot of things, you can miss and not get out of this world, but you never got the Aleph Bet that was given for your soul. Then you lost everything for your existence here. You just came here and the whole world always waiting in the world to come and take care of you. You're like an orphan in this world, looking out for this world, longing for somebody in this world to love you and all these things. What a pathetic existence. But most of the world lives that way and they think that is normal. That is not normal. It's not normal to come to this world thinking like that, It's normal to acquire from the very start, the beginning of your existence, the mindset of the Aleph Bet and look at everything in creation from his perspective and enjoy everything from his point of view. Okay, so let's see Psalm 119. It says, it is time for thee, O Lord, to walk for the heart, may Lord, thy Lord, mine eye just cry a river of tears because they have not kept thy law. Mine eye just cry a river of tears because they have not kept thy law. Sorry. It is time for thee, just cry a river of tears because they have not kept thy law. Mine eye just cry a river of tears because they have not kept thy law. Oh, it is time for thee, nuevo, la and I just cry a river of tears because they have kept the yellow, and I just cry a river of tears because they have kept the. It is time for me to work. All right. Okay, that works out. All right, let me see here. Now let me take you to the Hebrew chart. Today we can see what we're looking at. All right. There we go. We're looking at PEV. All right. That's for the mouth. You see the little circle? That's for the lips. And that's in the pictographic old-fashioned, the first original Hebrew before they went to Babylon and they got into this graphic thing that we have modern Hebrew now. But from Babylonian time, they picked up that style of writing it that way. But the original Hebrew was those little pictographics that have meaning, and express the meaning, functionality for each letter. All right, so we're looking at PEV here, and that's the 17th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, like I said, and numerical value of 80. Okay, and 80 is always the number. Everything has number 8, and is always for new things. Okay, new beginnings, new things. Okay, and so because there were 8 people in Noah's Ark, so that stands for new beginnings now, and so 80. And today I'm gonna share also with you something that I wrote for the 8th graders a long time ago. I think it was in 2001. Yeah, 2001, 2002. For that year, that's when the Twin Towers collapsed. And I wrote. I was inspired to write something here that you will be hearing in a minute. It's something that has to do. That was 8th graders. 8th graders was the best class I ever had. By the way, I taught classes for high schoolers, and I taught classes for middle schoolers, elementary school. But the 8th grade class that I had, those guys were the most eager to learn, in the sense that they were eager to take in what I was telling them. I guess, I don't know for one, but I guess that's ready to take life, with the best gusto they have. But in any case, that was the amazing thing with these kids. And let me see if I have a plate I'll show you. The 8th graders were the only one that presented me a plaque. Let me see if I have it here. I think I have it here. Let me show you to you in a minute. Oh yeah, I have it. It's kind of dirt. That's stuff. And I don't know if you can see it, but this is a plaque that 8th graders presented to me I think in 2000, the year 2000. It says the best teacher of the millennium. That was the year 1999. Coming into the 2000, that the 8th graders presented me with this. That's the only trophy I ever received in my life, and I wasn't expecting, because usually teachers give you things, or teacher association gives you things, but they gave me that. Those are the names of the people there. This thanks for being understandable and providing us, it says, with the knowledge that we will use for our life. Love always, your students. And that's the name of each one of them there, of the students that got together and gave me that. It was in December 1999. And this is the only thing, they made me cry with this, because I wasn't expecting anybody. But it made me cry in the sense that the fact that they thought of that, very thoughtful, and they said that I getting something that was useful for their life, then I just made me realize that what I was teaching them was, changing the Word of God, the karaoke songs into scriptural songs and all of that. Was well worth the effort, because some of the Word has synced inside of them. So this is the only thing that had ever been given to me by students. Administrators did not like me in my school, because I will always teach. In that year I was teaching, I had all the students set this in a circle. Instead of lining up behind one another, it was in a circle, so everybody participated. So they didn't like that I had done that, but it was more. We were facing each other and being more open with one another. So I did things that they didn't like the way I delineated. So they never put me for awards at the end of the year, but the students learn a lot. I know they had a lot of fun with it. And so that was something. So that's the only thing that I remember getting for them. And I cherish that little thing from them, But they call me the teacher of the millennium, so I guess they must have learned something, But nobody told them anything, I mean, they went out of their way to do that. So it was kind of nice. And so I want to share with you something a poem that I wrote during the Twin Towers, and these are the students are going to be reciting it. So I made a video. This thing is found in my preachit.com website. I have all these things in there. I have a lot of sermons and stuff like that. During my whole journey, I have put a recording of what my spiritual life has been on certain parts of my journey. As I've come closer and closer to the Torah where I'm at now. Fully planted in the Torah. But at that time, I wasn't still into the Torah all the way thing, but I was still into a lot of concordance and studying Hebrew roots and stuff like that. So based upon that, I wrote this poem. It's called My Pledge for This Nation. Because when the collapse of the Twin Towers happened, I thought, we had to find a way to get together and unite in the Word and gather in the Dabar. I didn't call it the Dabar at the time because I did not know the word Dabar back in 2001, But I saw the importance of the Word and being in agreement with the Word and how valuable it was to exalt the Word. So based upon that, I wrote this thing here. Let me see if I can play it for you guys here. I think I have it in media number 3. And while it's playing for you, I'm going to have to quickly go to the bathroom because I've been tweaking with this thing and I have not been able to go to the bathroom today. But so this is about 5 minutes. So listen to it. It will play in the back and I'll let me find here the right place. I think it's this one here. All right, let me put it in here. Let me see. Oh, here we go.
We began the school year with the crushing news of devastation and disaster lingering in the air as we witnessed what became of the World Trade Center. The vivid images of the Twin Towers crumbling to the dust have been left imprinted in our hearts and minds, and most likely will remain with us for the rest of our years. The Twin Towers have fallen on the street, and we can no longer enter to enjoy the comfort and view they afforded. This is sad. But what's more deplorable to our economical and spiritual well-being is the way in which we ourselves have brought down and tear apart the Tower of Truth. Borrowing from the prophet Isaiah, truth is fallen in the street and equity cannot enter. As we boldly proclaim that money gets us the best things in life, as we assert that money gets us the best products and services, we have been destroying and thus bringing the Tower of Truth down to the ground. Therefore, the heart of our young people cannot enter into the joy of caring, and their minds have no access to the delight of building, restoring, and renewing. Knowledge with words as its only elements is what gets us the best things in life. Knowledge gets us the best products and services and makes them available for all of us to enjoy. Now, since the words of ignorance enables us to use, waste, and consume, and the words of knowledge empowers us to produce, care, and restore, we should always be careful to exercise great respect and admiration for words, wisely scrutinizing the concepts and ideas we come across before we allow them to make their residence in our hearts and minds. And we should once again proceed to build up the edifice of this one crucial truth. Without knowledge, we are nothing, and we have nothing. As a parent and educator, I have written this poem titled My Pledge to This Nation, which will now be recited by my students and my children.
As you made me understand that your word, your command, is what brings from the throne all that's righteous and true. I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
Since I know you exalt now the horn of your people, which is Christ's boundless might, who for us won all fights. I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
As you now make me see that what makes me complete is not things nor designs that this world has to offer, I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
As you now fill my heart with your infinite love, I could see you pour out from my soul living waters. That's why all I could say is I want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
Since true greatness is not recognition bestowed for what I have accomplished, is rather to know that by him now I am, and without him I am nothing. Let me then just behold and be held by a word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
Since I'm now barely known for what people can see, is the skin which is surface, and my soul I know less, for it is now only seen by its jubilant maker. I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
Since my wrestling is not with the flesh nor the things which can clearly be seen, but with forces that are far more wiser than I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
Now that I am convinced that the word is what makes and takes care of all things, as is planted within every soul that's instructed, I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
Since I don't want to be led by mockers and fools, that by praising themselves their stout hearts now declare, there's no God here that made me. I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
And so to seek you, and you alone, as I decrease and you increase, is what I pledge to this dear nation. For you have said, my God, my King, righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people.
All right, so that was something. Okay, so you can see the Lord has been preparing me for a long time. I've written constitutions, I've written poems, I've written everything. So if a nation goes under, I have pledges, I have constitutions, I have things that we can work on. All based from the Word of God. So while a whole nation might be going out, because outside of you, a nation cannot sustain itself if its citizens do not know the purpose for which they exist. You need to understand that. So that's how things work. Let me take you back to the meaningfulness, understanding the thing with meaningfulness here. Let me see. Perfect. I forgot to change this for today. I need to have changed this one and put the PEV in here. Which I don't know if I can do it while this thing is working. Let me see if I can do it. Oh, I think I can do it. Let me put the PEV in here. Dun, dun, dun. You can see how that works. Let me see if I can just add it in here. So we're talking about PEV. Let me put the image here. Image for PEV. All right. I'm changing the image. This is the first time I'm doing a change while I'm live. So I'm experimenting here with you guys. Thank you for your patience. I want to put PEV in here right now. I'll do this in a minute. Res, PEV. Here we go, PEV. All right, is this okay? Oh, is it here? All right, so this is today. So I can add a file while I'm playing. That's pretty good. This is really good. All right, I can do this. Wonderful. All right, so I'm adding. This is what we're talking to the PEV, okay? And so here, I am looking at this file here, the one all the way was Ehad 1, the bar. And this is to remind you again the meaning, of why we're learning the alphabet is to keep the words in all of its fullness and its meaning. Because when you know the word with the meaning and definition, it's like a word has a mom and a dad to be a producer. Okay, because you want to raise the bar in you to be a producer, a maker, a maintainer, a sustainer, and all of that. It has to have all of its meanings and definitions. That's when a word is equipped to be a producer in this world. That's what we want to make a word, be a father and mother, and take care of everything. Okay, it doesn't need any take care for itself, but that's what it needs to be self-sufficient and take care of everybody else, all right? So that's what we're working on here. So the meaning of this, okay? And that's from the Aleph to the Tab. I'm going to read it again. I'm just going to go a perusal reading. So I'm not going to stop too much. I'm just going to remind you. It's a refresher here. So this is the meaning of this. The fortifying, to have meaningfulness, to keep meaningfulness in all words, we need to keep the fortifying house or the blueprint for the career of administering the displayed activation of the connectedness of the cultivation of words that safeguards the distribution of the task of handling the approved guidelines of the solutions that generate or propagate protection or support for the Watcher's proclamation. That's what we're going to hear today in the proclamation, is the PEV, of the journey of mankind's desires. That's going to be tomorrow's letter. The journey of mankind's desire, that's Sadeh. But today we're in PEV, we're in proclamation. The proclamation, promulgation, all that stuff has to do with what you have to say. Propagation, promulgation, proclamation. And this is from dawn until dusk and forevermore. This is all kuf, the meaning of kuf here. From dawn until dusk and forevermore. This is our main and foremost pressing. Okay, main and foremost pressing is the resh and the shin. And then all for tab is the last line here. Goal, objective, agenda, agreement, and commitment. Okay, because it's all a covenant here. We're making a contract. This is what we sign ourselves to do. That's when you go to a company, you're going to sign in the dotted line, that the X at the end, you're going to sign that you're going to agree by the binding, contract that you're going to work for that company and represent everything there. All right, so praise the Lord. I was able to add something in the middle of the thing. That's pretty good. Let me see how we're doing here. Let me go check on you guys. Time to give out the first prize here, I suppose. Okay, I see some of you here. Brother Fruit. Rosa, all right, Andy, all right, okay, Brian, I see also. Let me see what else we have here. All right, hey, we have the usual suspect. How's it going, you guys? Is everything okay? You hear me all right? All right, you understanding? Okay, how you guys like the poem, My Pledge to This Nation, with the kids reciting it? Was that pretty good? You enjoy that? My Pledge to This Nation with the kids reciting, was that good? Did that came out okay? Oh, there's a piece of the towers here, and in Downey, says Angel Martinez. Oh, that's good to know. All right, did you win and pick it up, or how did you get it? Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Rosa. Yeah, the kids enjoyed it when I did it. I remember that. That was a good thing that we did. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, good. I can see some of you. All right. Michael, I'm in the shit. Bear fruit. You're always joking, my man. I love you for that. Yeah, it was good. All right, you guys. It's good to see you, I'm really enjoying, what can I tell you? I'm really enjoying this, this thing here that we're doing, because especially with this program, I'm able to set it all up, and I can put everything now on the screen for you guys to enjoy, and that's the whole idea, to be able to do that, and so let me think, let me see here, and okay, let me put my screen here so I can think of the first question for the $50, okay? All right, let me see here. For the $50, all right, let me, okay, here we go. Now, okay, let me think of something here. Oh yeah, here we go. So, let me go to the main screen, all right? So there's chart, so there's portrait, okay. Oh yeah, the main plane. So we're gonna be just me on the screen here. That way you don't have anything to look at. Yeah, just me. All right. All right. Now let me see here. All right. So for today, all right, $50. First $50 to go out. Okay. Let me get my pencil to write it down. Okay. So today, the letter for today is called PEV. All right. What's PEV? What's the PEV is the picture of? What does it represent? What is PEV? What is that PEV? What does it represent? What's the picture of? For today's letter, PEV. $50. Hey Jimmy, good to have you. Good to see you. Yeah, thank you. So what's the PEV represent for the letter of today? What does it represent? What's the picture of? Mouth! That's right, Rosa. It's the mouth. It represents the mouth. Yes. And that's, let me pray, Rosa. Rosa's making money today. Rosa, quick to answer. Mouth. All right. Perfect, Rosa. Great. Now you got to wait for some other to answer now. You already got your prize. All right, perfect. All right. So congratulate Rosa for getting the first $50 for today. Okay. And now, all right, let me get in here. Let me see what else of you guys. Yeah. Andy, no, ice was yesterday, Andy. Yeah, today was mouth. Yeah. All right. Hey, Tim, you got it right too, Tim. Yeah. Well, you were not the first, but you got it right. Tim also got it right. All right. Okay, perfect. We're working with the mouth. And interesting that, Pamin, I'm gonna read to you now the scripture for today. Okay, I'm gonna put it on the screen here. Let me get back to my program here. I'll get to the scriptures for today. All right, let's see. Scripture for today. Here we go. All right, so here we go. PEV. And I left this time, and there the picture of, I left the Hebrew reference for the concordance. When you have a Hebrew, it gives you the concordance. I left the picture there so you understand how I study these things. I come here and I go and look at the Hebrew reference, and I see the Hebrew letter and stuff like that, and it gives you all of that, so it gives you the breakdown, right? So today we're talking with PEV, and it's quite a lot. There's a lot of words that start with PEV, by the way, okay? And I'm going to read the first one is verse 119, verse 129. It says, "Thy testimonies are wonderful, therefore doth my soul keep them." Okay? So 129, the word wonderful. See that word wonderful here? H6382. That's the concordance reference. That word is pele. Pele. Okay? And it's made out of the mouth for PEV, mouth. PEV, think like a pronounce. Like pronounce has to do with the word, right? You speak, pronounce, pronunciations, proclamation. All of that is the PEV, speaking things out. So Pele, it starts with the word wonderful is Pele and Lamed and Aleph. Okay, and wonderful. So Pele, Aleph, and Aleph means the proclamation of the teachings of strength. So this word wonderful, other words for wonderful are like miracle or marvelous. So the proclamation of the guidance of fortification. That's what Pele. All thy testimonies are, wonderful means all thy testimonies are a proclamation of the guidance of fortification or strength. And that is translated to us in English as wonderful or marvelous or miraculous, okay? You got to understand that in the Bible, there's one word that is Hebrew word that almost all languages when they do magic trick, they say the same word. They don't translate it. You know, it says abracadabra. That's a Jewish word. That means I will create as I speak. I will create as I speak. That's what it means, abracadabra. So when magicians are doing, their magic tricks, they do the abracadabra and they make something appear. And so, but this is a Hebrew word that doesn't matter if you're Chinese or they always use the same word. But they translate it, I will create out of nothing, to create something out of nothing. But no, God created out of his speech. His words are the reality and they are manifested and they give, shape in the dust and in this 3D dimension. Okay, but I will create as I speak, as I say. As I speak, I will create. That's what it means, abracadabra. Okay, so that's why one of the PEV is one of the most words more found in the scriptures. It's just the word panim for face. Panim, I will show you in a minute. It's about 2,120 just for the word face in the Tanakh, in the Bible there, and all the Hebrew scriptures. 2,120 times just on the word face. And that's how the word PEV had the word mouth in it, panim. So you realize that this is a very important word because it has to do with proclaiming, okay? So thy testimonies are wonderful, pele. Therefore doth my soul keep them, okay? So to me, thy words are fascinating because, they are miraculous, they're wonderful. They come and they speak to me and they put inside of me something that was not there, They manifest your character. I was born without the absence of your character, but once understanding and that is given to me, that enters into me and is placed inside of me that which wasn't there. So as God speaks, as he pronounced his word, his Torah, that which wasn't here is manifested in me. So that's the whole idea. That's why it's that way. David is looking at something that is very miraculous indeed, because that's how it's manifested in him. Then he goes here again. Now the entrance, okay, marbles. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let me see if there's another word on verse 129. I'm trying to see if there's another word with pef. Oh, nefesh is their soul, but the soul has the mouth in the middle. Nefesh is the noon and the pev and the shin. For nefesh is soul, which is therefore does my soul. It has pev in there, but it has the pev in the middle. It starts with the nefesh is the word for soul. Nefesh starts with a noon. It has the pev, because the pev also could be pronounced as an F. It's also an F or a P, a PH or a P, pev, and and also has the shin. So the continuation of the proclamation of adherence. That's what a soul is. The continuation of proclamation of adherence, nefesh. Therefore, they must all keep them. Now, go to verse 130. The entrance. Now, for the verse 130, where we find words that start with pev, is the entrance. The word entrance. The word entrance in Hebrew is petak. That's the word pev. And then it has the word tab, the last letter of the alphabet, of the Hebrew alphabet. And it has the word for het, for the wall. So it's pev, tab, and het. So it's petak. Petak is for entrance, and means the opening or disclosure. All right, the entrance of the word. That means the opening and disclosure of the word. Give it light, and it give it understanding unto the simple. And the word simple, okay, is another word with pev in this chapter, in this verse. So the two words with pev start with pev are entrance, petak, and simple. And simple is petit. Petit, which means is the pev, the tab, and the hand for work. So is the proclamation of the commitment of the work of the worker. The proclamation of the commitment of the worker. So a person that just committed to work, just like a regular employee that has no, just busy as a busybody, just working without understanding. Like most people work because they have to, not because they understand the meaning behind what they are trying to portray and everything that they do. Most people do things because everybody else does them. They have really, that's what it's called, a cheapo. You have no meaning and purpose why you do it. Well, everybody gets married, so I guess I must get married. Everybody works, I guess I'm gonna have to work. Everybody does this, I guess I'm gonna. That's it, and that's all their guidance. Those are simple people. So God takes simple people that have that, and He gives the petak. He opens up, He discloses, the words. So then everything that they do has meaning and purpose in their life. Okay, and that's the whole idea. To be able to understand, because you understand everything you're doing, then life is very enjoyable. But if you're doing everything because everybody else does it, it's kind of boring a lot of times. You have to make your life meaningful at all times, right? A meaningless life, is not productive at all. And here we go now, verse 131. Then here's another word that I have here. Let me opened is another word here. I opened my mouth and panted, for I long for thy commandments. Okay? So here the word opened, okay? So I opened my mouth. And here, by the way, the word mouth is what PEV is. The letter we're talking about, that's the meaning of the word mouth. So mouth, you understand that to be mouth. PEV is mouth. That's the meaning of it. But I open also, that's a Hebrew word that starts with PEV, and it means pa'ar. And it's made out of the PEV, I say the mouth, speaking, the lips, the eye, and the resh, and the head. So it means the proclamation of the observations of the ruler, or the proclamation of the observation of the rules. So that means to have an opening. So when you proclaim what is being said by the rules, that's you have an opening and understanding of the contract. It's a disclosure. Okay? So that's a pa'ar, to open. And the other meaning for that is to yawn. When you yawn, and it just means to gape, or open wide my mouth. See, so that's what I say, I open my mouth. I open my mouth and I panted. I want for I long for thy commandments. In other words, he's eager to swallow up the word of God. To eat all of it. So he's eager to eat it all up, because that's his main food. So, here what David does in an interesting way. I try to tell you in a very technical way. All these things are done by computers. That's all computers do. Computers only inherit definitions and meanings, programs, rules, and all of that is the only treasure they can keep. And with those things, they manage to serve humanity and run everything for them nowadays, right? And so, if you were to put feelings into a computer, that's what you would do to a computer. The computer will be eager to get the next, line of programming, so it will know what nice, rich I think he can do to a human being to make him happy. Well, that's the whole idea here. So with David, he integrates the fact that we need words to function and to do it right, but also for our whole emotional well-being to be attached to it. Okay, so our emotions are there, our understanding are there, our intellect is there, and everything is lined up with it. Okay, because that's the inheritance of everything that works. And for being productive, for being a creator, for being an innovator, for being an entrepreneur, for being anything of production in this world, words is what you're going to inherit. Period. That's it. Because that's what's going to enable you to refresh, restore, renew, and keep everything going, So that's why he's saying, open my mouth and I panted for I long for thy commandments. He says, and the mouth. So the two words in there are pa'ar for open and mouth. And verse 132. And that is look. Look. That's another word here that starts with PEV. And that's the word pana. Just to face or to appear. Okay. And that's panam. And that's, I'm going to read here. So look thou upon me and be merciful unto me, as thou usest to do unto those that love thy name. Okay. So the words in there is to look. That's the only one. And now at verse 133. Okay, verse 133. Order my steps. The word steps here is a word that starts with panam. It means pa'am or pa'ama. Steps. And that means also for or my going or twice steps. It has to do with steps. So order my steps in thy word. Line up where I should need to walk, in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. And then it's deliver me from the oppression. That's verse 134. And let me see what we have. Deliver is a pada. That's another word. It says, deliver me from the oppressor. And precepts is pikud. So these are two words here. Deliver me. So it's deliver me from the oppression of men. So will I keep thy. I told you that one is pikud, precept. Okay. And then verse 135, make thy face to shine upon thy servant, and teach me thy statutes. All right. And then I go to the one I sang today, the last verse. Rivers of waters run down mine eyes, because they keep not thy law. You know, mine eyes have cried a river of tears, because they have not kept thy law. That's the way I interpret it there, but this is where it comes from. Rivers of waters run down mine eyes, because they keep not thy law. And here the word is rivers. Rivers means peleg. Okay, and that's like a stream of water, you know. Like this live stream, it's like a little river of truth shining down your heart right now. It's a peleg going down, you know, through the electronic cloud here. This cloud is raining a little peleg, a little river, a little stream. Live stream is a little river of peleg, of waters draining down to you. So that's, my friends, and that's the thing for today. So we're doing this, you know, in order for you to gain wisdom and understanding, okay? So that you will be able to address all kinds of situations, right? And let me see if I can come up with another $50 here. Okay. All right. Now let me think of another question here. Let me go to the main screen, so you don't see anything in the background here. Main screen. All right. Okay, here we go. Now. Okay, so let me see. This is something to a refresher. Because, you know, I'm trying to teach you something right now that everybody claims they're going to teach you this every time, especially when you go to kindergarten or elementary. You know, they say they're going to teach you something to bring you into the mindset of the Father, but they never deliver, right? Okay, and now let me see if anybody remembers this. How do you say Father in Hebrew? What's the way you say Father in Hebrew? $50. Let me get to the screen here. How do you say Father in Hebrew? Okay. Well, I have somebody here that said alphabet. Okay. All right. Yeah, alphabet. But you said in English, alphabet. Okay. Let me see if anybody else is going to say it in Hebrew. Abba. Okay. Andy said, okay. Oh, Bearfruit said it. Okay. Oh, you did say it, Bearfruit. So you get his alphabet, and you did get it right after that. Okay. Abba. Correct the mundo. Okay. Abba, which has that's the way it's said in Hebrew. Abba, which has the aleph and the bet. Okay. And Abba is for father. Maritza Monte, good to see you, Maritza. All right. Abba, that's good, Maritza. That's how you say it in Hebrew. And has the aleph bet, okay? And so, like I was saying, you know, that's the whole idea, is to teach you that so you can enter into the mindset. So congratulations for Bearfruit, he got $50. I guess you're gonna fix the brake pads, right? Just joking. You say you wanted to fix that. Bearfruit. All right, $50 for Bearfruit. All right, perfect. But the whole idea is to keep you into that, all right? Now, I'm gonna. I know I'm going a little long, but you know, this is worth it, I think. I'm gonna show you a little video right now, because the whole idea is how to apply, you know, what you're hearing. You know, let me put myself on the screen so I know what I'm saying. You know, so that, let's say, for example, you know, because the way this pandemic started, okay, because you need to be in the spirit of the Father to understand that you're there to discern words and to see the truth behind everything, okay? And to make everything line up with the truth, because that's what we're trying to do here. You know, it's what people are telling you. I said lining up with the truth. So look at the facts and not just the talk. let the facts, show the act. Let the acts show the facts. In other words, let the acts of what they really represent show the real facts, not what people say, because people have a way of saying things today, but their acts or their background do not match with what they're saying, And so that's the whole idea of learning to be in the bar, the administration of the Word of God. The bar is the Word of bar. But I'm gonna play you a scenario right now from a thing that's called Pandemic 2 that I was just sharing, and so that you would know what it is that Bill Gates, what is something that what is it, when Bill Gates became the richest man on earth. How did he accomplish that? Did he use vaccines to be able to become the richest man on earth? You have to ask yourself, is that something that he used in the past? Did he use the vaccine, industry and everything to double his, his billions? And that's what I want you to listen to right now and see if you can answer that, okay? And so listen to this clip. It's about 5 minutes. And listen to everything about the facts, about especially about Bill Gates and upon the guy who's in charge of the WHO right now, all right? And then I want to ask you some questions about that for the last $50 of the evening. So we're going to listen to this right now. And at the end of this video, I'll come and ask you the question. Okay, let me put it here. So here we go.
Is not merely the result of incompetence, but rather the direct result of the Communist Party of China deliberately buying out WHO's leadership.
On the nomination of the Executive Board, appoints Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus as Director General of the World Health Organization.
Tedros Ghebreyesus is the World Health Organization's first Director General that isn't a medical doctor.
No Tedros for WHO!
Was accused of covering up 3 major health epidemics.
Tedros is no stranger to controversy. As a former Minister of Health in Ethiopia, he has been accused of an alleged cover-up of 3 possible cholera epidemics.
How does a man with such a controversial past score the top position at the world's most influential health organization?
I have known Bill and Melinda for many, many years now.
While serving as Ethiopia's health minister, Tedros became intimately intertwined with both the Gates Foundation and the Clinton Foundation.
The health minister of Ethiopia, one of the ablest public servants I ever worked with.
With the backing of the 2 most powerful foundations on earth and the full support of the Communist Party of China, Tedros was a shoo-in.
We will have many body bags in front of us if we don't behave.
You cannot find a person promoting this scenario that's not part of the interlocking directorates of the World Health Organization, the CDC, the NIAID, or the organizations that are the philanthropic cover organizations that fund them. We now know that there are over 1,300 patents currently issued and held by organizations that are multiply recipients of funding through the Gates Foundation, through EcoHealth Alliance, through the Sherlock Biosciences connection back into open philanthropy, and all of them also have links directly to NIAID, Anthony Fauci's funding sources. If you have conflicts of interest in the funding and in the decision-making and in the inside knowledge that you have between competing or competitor organizations, that is a violation of the antitrust laws of the United States. These are federal crimes.
If you had the power to immediately fix whatever's wrong with our current medical system, where would you start?
Conflicts of interest.
Gates' business strategies came under fire in 1998 when the United States Department of Justice sued Microsoft for antitrust violations.
This is tape 3 of the videotape deposition of Bill Gates on September.
During the 18-month trial, Gates gave hours of videotape testimony.
What were the non-Microsoft browsers that you were concerned about in January of 1996?
That month.
Yes, sir.
And what about it?
What non-Microsoft browsers were you concerned about in January of 1996?
I don't know what you mean concerned.
What is it about the word concerned that you don't understand?
I'm not sure what you mean by it.
The Justice Department has charged Microsoft with engaging in anti-competitive and exclusionary practices designed to maintain its monopoly in personal computer operating systems.
In a move to overshadow the negative press, Gates invested $100 million to set up the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Overnight, Bill Gates transformed his public image from ruthless tech monopolizer to the world's most generous philanthropist.
I'm pleased to announce that we're pledging an additional $1 billion to
We had the chance to witness Bill Gates 2.0, the man you don't know.
The rebranding campaign paid off. His net worth swiftly doubled, earning Bill Gates the title of richest man in the world.
You've invested $10 billion in vaccinations over the last 2 decades, and you figured out the return on investment for that, and it kind of stunned me. Can you walk us through the math?
In a Wall Street essay, Bill Gates declared vaccines the best investment I've ever made.
There's been over a 20-to-1 return. So if you just look at the economic benefits, that's a pretty strong number compared to anything else.
All right, so there you go. All right, so you saw that. So you understand by watching that video, it's obvious that vaccine has made this man very rich, if you get to know the facts. So there's, money-wise, there's a lot of incentive for this man to be doing something where he used vaccines to make himself the richest man at that point, you know. So let me ask you, let's say, because what is lacking right now is like wisdom in the high places, you know, a lot of places are run by people that are just so naive and foolish. And let's say if you were one of Trumpet advisors, you know, I mean, Trump, not Trump's, Donald Trump's advisors. To me, he's like a trumpet, you know, for this generation. But let's say if you were one of Trump advisors, you know, and all this delegation of people from the deep state are coming to you, you know, like Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates are coming to address all of you, the president, and you are one of their advisors, and they come, you know, we have to gonna shut down because, you know, the virus has come into the United States, you know, and, you know, they begin to address the situation. How would you, you know, if you're one of the advisors, how would you address the situation? Okay? Because the thing is, if you see this, get to see this pandemic on your own, I have it in my thing with the COVID-19 man, but if you get to see it on your own, you're going to find out, you know, the whole thing, the whole scenario, how this was rehearsed. In October 18 of last year, they did a whole rehearsal of this whole possible pandemic. And then the same characters are playing the game now, you know. So that's the whole idea. So the thing is, if you were one of the advisors, how would you address those two people if they're coming to you, you know? And I have been thinking about that because, you know, you have to be there. Like Daniel was an advisor to Nebuchadnezzar. You know, Nebuchadnezzar was the first global king. I mean, of the whole wide world, the first empire, the head of gold. And Daniel was one of the advisors that he had, and that was the best advisor that he had, because he recognized that the spirit of the gods was in him. In any case, but when you see a situation like this, some people come in. You know, I was thinking if I was an advisor in that situation, you know, what you will say something to address the situation will mean you will mean to say, I would say I would say to them, okay, now. Because I wrote it down to better, but I can't find the paper right now. But something like this, you will have to address them and say, now, you're telling me that we're gonna just play along with this right now, right? This is not really happening. It's not serious because you mean to tell me if this is a serious virus, right? Is this a serious virus or we're just playing the role right now? You know, then Fauci will probably say, no, this is serious, man. This virus has been proven to be serious. Okay, then I will say to them, if it's serious, if this is a serious virus that really exists, and is creating this much harm, how come you're not taking your science seriously? You know, how come you're not taking science seriously? Because that means you will bring somebody that has a science degree or is an expert in virology or anything like that to be able to address the situation and offer a possible cure. You will not bring somebody here like this fellow here named Bill Gates who has no idea of what medicine is all about and who happens to have a future of making money in vaccines to be the one to address the cure for a situation like this. So as far as I'm concerned, this is just a make-believe scenario. You know, it's not a real thing because you're not addressing the elephant in the room, the fact that you're bringing a person that has no scientific background to be the one to address the cure. So it's not a valid presentation of a virus. You cannot expect me to take a virus that serious if you yourself don't take it serious by not bringing the properly equipped individual to address the situation. So unless you make everything match with what science you're presenting, then it's invalid. That's how you need to address something. You need to take them down to the fact that, if there's a serious virus, supposedly, that's supposed to be attacking the world right now, then how come they don't have a serious scientist addressing the situation? One with high credentials, 40 years of experience. There are plenty of people with 40 years of experience, like Dr. Robert Young. I know this guy. He knows about virology. He has dedicated his life to all of that. So that's how you need to address the situation. But sadly to say, I don't think he has any advisors, President Trump has any advisors that can really think for themselves, And that's the situation of this hour, that we find ourselves, okay? So the thing is, that's what we need to be in the dabar, in the alphabet, to acquire that knowledge and that understanding. So we can, in all situations, we will look at everything matches. If somebody tells you, in the name of science, we're doing to this, and then they're going to present somebody that in the name of science is going to bring the cure to your dilemma, but this person has no science degree, how can you take them seriously? Okay, so you cannot take serious somebody that they themselves don't take science seriously, because then you're reinforcing their foolish way that they're directing the situation, okay? So that's what you need to keep in mind, all right? And so now, for the last question of the evening, let's see somebody pay attention to the video. The person that is in charge of the WHO, okay, the Tedros Adhanom. Does this person has a medical degree? Yes or no? Let's see what you're going to answer here. Okay. The one in charge of the WHO, Tedros Adhanom, does he have a medical degree or not? No. Maritza Monte, you got $50, my dear. All right. Yeah, Maritza Monte got $50. So say congratulations to Maritza Monte. All right. I'm going to be reaching you on the messenger later on to either get your cell phone or your email to send you, because I only send the money through cell. So all winners, you get your money paid every Friday morning. That's when you get your money. So congratulations to the winners again. We have Rosa, who won $50. We have Bear Fruit, who won $50. And congratulations to Maritza Monte, who won $50. And that's correct, okay? So you understand then, we are being addressed by a whole bunch of hooligans, people that are just make-believe, people that have clout and they get to know each other and they put yourself in that position. I'll pretend that you're a doctor. I'll pretend that you have authority. And that's how we being fooled by people, you guys. And that therefore, we need to be in the word of our Maker, so we will have wisdom for the hour. All right, so I'm glad you were able to join me. I'm glad you were able here to be with me. And then again, congratulations to the winners. And may God bless each and every one of you. And let me close again with the poem that I wrote with my kids in my 8th grade. For those of you that came late and did not listen to it, let me close with that poem right now. And then I'll see you guys. Tomorrow I'll do the Saturday, the next letter, but we're going to have this every Wednesday. They're giving away money, so I'm glad you were able to be here. May God bless each and every one of you. I'm going to close with this.
We began the school year with the crushing news of devastation and disaster lingering in the air as we witnessed what became of the World Trade Center. The vivid images of the Twin Towers crumbling to the dust have been left imprinted in our hearts and minds, and most likely will remain with us for the rest of our years. The Twin Towers have fallen on the street, and we can no longer enter to enjoy the comfort and view they afforded. This is sad. But what's more deplorable to our economical and spiritual well-being is the way in which we ourselves have brought down and tear apart the Tower of Truth. Borrowing from the prophet Isaiah, truth is fallen in the street and equity cannot enter. As we boldly proclaim that money gets us the best things in life, as we assert that money gets us the best products and services, we have been destroying and thus bringing the Tower of Truth down to the ground. Therefore, the heart of our young people cannot enter into the joy of caring, and their minds have no access to the delight of building, restoring, and renewing. Knowledge with words as its only elements is what gets us the best things in life. Knowledge gets us the best products and services and makes them available for all of us to enjoy. Now, since the words of ignorance enables us to use, waste, and consume, and the words of knowledge empowers us to produce, care, and restore, we should always be careful to exercise great respect and admiration for words, wisely scrutinizing the concepts and ideas we come across before we allow them to make their residence in our hearts and minds. And we should once again proceed to build up the edifice of this one crucial truth. Without knowledge, we are nothing, and we have nothing. As a parent and educator, I have written this poem titled My Pledge to This Nation, which will now be recited by my students and my children.
As you made me understand that your word, your command, is what brings from the throne all that's righteous and true. I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
Since I know you exalt now the horn of your people, which is Christ's boundless might, who for us won all fights. I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
As you now make me see that what makes me complete is not things nor designs that this world has to offer. I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
As you now fill my heart with your infinite love, I could see you pour out from my soul living waters. That's why all I could say is I want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
Since true greatness is not recognition bestowed for what I have accomplished, but is rather to know that by him now I am, and without him I am nothing. Let me then just behold and be held by a word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
Since I'm now barely known for what people can see is the skin which is surface, and my soul I know less, for it is now only seen by its jubilant maker. I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
Since my wrestling is not with the flesh nor the things which can clearly be seen, but with forces that are far more wiser than I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
Now that I am convinced that the word is what makes and takes care of all things, as is planted within every soul that's instructed, I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
Since I don't want to be led by mockers and fools, that by praising themselves their stout hearts now declare, there's no God here that made me. I just want to behold and be held by your word, and let this, O dear Lord, be my pledge for this nation.
And so to seek you, and you alone, as I decrease, and you increase, is what I pledge to this dear nation. For you have said, my God, my King, righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people.